Hey, you guys, welcome back to Ramon at Home. I'm so excited you're here today because in today's video, I'm going to share with you 3 beautiful and traditional Christmas DIYs. We're gonna start, of course, with a wreath because I'm always telling you, you can only get one chance to make a first impression, and that is at the front door. We're going to continue with a fabulous Christmas tree in a traditional theme with burgundies and reds and greens, and it's just absolutely beautiful. And we're going to end with a gorgeous traditional centerpiece in burgundy and gold. If you're new to the channel, I would really like for you to consider subscribing, and if you are already subscribed, don't forget to turn the notification bell on because you will not want to miss Christmas 2025 here at Ramon at Home. Also, you guys, don't forget to like this video and share with your friends on Facebook, on Instagram, and on WhatsApp. Why? Well, because it is free and it really helps this channel. Plus, it invites your family and friends to come and join the Christmas 2025 fun. Are you guys ready? Well, we're gonna go to the studio and we're gonna get started with a gorgeous traditional Christmas wreath DIY. Let's take a look. All right, everyone, so for this next Christmas DIY, I want to share with you how easy and simple it is to have a gorgeous wreath on your front door. So I'm gonna start by telling you that we're going to start with a gorgeous wreath. This is our basic wreath, and look how flat this comes, you guys. This is the before of it, and you know that let me put down the trash. You know that what you need to do is grab every single bristle on your wreath. All right, so now that our wreath is flat, look at the difference. Look at the difference. What we're going to do is we're going to add a few garlands. This is what's going to create this gorgeous wreath. So I have this garland that has a variety of greeneries, and what you need to do is you need to lay this garland right here, like right about there. I'm gonna start right here on the top, and I'm gonna go as far in as I can. I'm gonna grab 2 of the bristles, and I'm going to just twist those real quick. And look what that does. This just creates this bigger wreath, and it has a lot of texture, and that's what I love about a wreath. I love a wreath that has all this texture, and look at that. All it takes is just a garland to create a more beautiful wreath. If you have a basic wreath and if you find a beautiful garland, well, guess what? You too can have an absolutely gorgeous wreath on your front door with all of these textures. And all you have to do is grab 2 of those bristles in there and twist them. Look at that. I'm gonna do another one over here. So at a 4-point attachment, 1 on the top, 1 on the bottom, 1 on the right, 1 on the left. And this is what's going to really make sure that this is secure. And look at that, how beautiful. And then all you have to do is fluff this other garland that has all these beautiful greeneries. And remember that when we fluff our garlands, we have to go on a clock motion or counterclock motion because that's what's going to create that wreath shape. So now I have this other beautiful garland that has the berries, and I just love all of these berries. This is going to add a little bit of color and texture as well. Make sure that you go ahead and fluff all of these clusters that come on your garland. Look, it has berries, it has pine cones. There's very few of them in, so you can really take your time to fluff this out and to really make it come alive before we add the rest of the elements to this wreath. Look at that. It has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bundles. So now what I'm going to do is I'm gonna grab this top part and I'm gonna put it right here. So I'm going to unite those 2, and I'm gonna create this round shape to lay on top of our other wreath. Actually, you know what I'm going to do, since we do have a bow, so I'm gonna insert this guy right here. So I'm gonna start right here on the top, and I wanna make sure that I grab some of those bristles as well. And then I'm going to attach the second garland, and look at that, you guys. That is adding so much texture. So now what I'm going to do is going to grab the other end, and I'm going to put it right about here. I'm going to grab another 2 bristles and attach like this. And then I'm going to go in right here. I'm going to grab a bristle from each garland, and I'm going to really tightly attach. And look how easy it was to transform that basic wreath into a beautiful wreath for your front door. And like I said, all you have to do is make sure that all of these clusters are going the same way. and fluff them. Make sure that you fluff these clusters so they can really show on your wreath. Look at this. All right, you guys, so I went through my stash and I have this beautiful Merry Christmas ribbon. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a simple loop bow. I'm going to make sure that one of these strands is longer than the other one. So this one's gonna be a little bit longer because we want to have that staggering motion. I'm gonna pinch right here and I'm gonna secure. So now what I'm going to do is I'm gonna grab another string of ribbon, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to attach right here where I folded, and I'm going to create a simple bow like this. I'll make sure that this one faces forward. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab a smaller one and I'm going to gather that as well, like that. So that's going to give us, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 loops or tails. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab a zip tie and I'm going to zip tie all of this together really tightly. And it's kind of hard sometimes when the ribbon is so thick and there's so many layers of it, but just don't let go of that core like that. And before I really zip tie, what I'm going to do is I'm going to drive a wire through it to attach to my wreath. So now that I have that wire in there, now I'm going to really pull really tightly. Like I said, this is a really simple wreath, but look how much impact this is going to create. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab this wire that I had and I'm going to go right here in the middle. And don't worry, because we'll fluff in a second, but I just want to make sure that I attach my bow. Look at this. I'm going to attach right here. I'm going to take it off the stand so that I can really attach. I'm actually even going to put it right here. Don't feel bad about flattening it out. You can always go back and fluff everything. Actually, I encourage to always go back and fluff everything before we put it on the door. So I'm going to put that right there. And this little string that is popping up, I'm going to secure right there. So now I'm going to put it back into my stand, and now the finessing begins, right? So I'm going to grab my bow and I'm going to open it up like this. And then I'm going to grab the longest tail and I'm going to pinch right about here. I'm going to create this little loop, fold this up, and look at that. Okay, I'm back. I lost my scissors for a second. What I'm going to do is I'm going to dovetail this guy right here to have a tail, a shorter tail, and a second one right here, making sure that I have those there. And then I'm going to put this guy right here on the bottom. And I'm also going to dovetail like that. And look at that. I absolutely love this. I'm gonna put this in the door and share with you the end result. First, I'm gonna give it a little fluff, make sure that everything's in spot, and I'll meet you at the door. Keep watching. You guys, look how absolutely gorgeous this wreath turned out. I love the simplicity of it, just to show you that you don't have to have a super elaborate wreath. If you don't want to, you know I love my elaborate wreaths, but I just wanted to share with you how simple this was to create with a beautiful ribbon that cascades all the way down. This is Merry Christmas. It is just a basic wreath with 2 garlands, one with the berries, and they're just absolutely beautiful. The other one with the cedar and the beautiful simple bow in the middle really does create a festive look to it. I absolutely love the way this turned out because it was simple and anyone can make it. If I can make it, so can you. All you have to do is to put those 2 swags together into a basic wreath form, create a multi-tail bow, and you too can have a beautiful wreath on your front door this holiday season. I cannot wait to read your comments. As you guys can see, creating a fabulous and simple Christmas wreath DIY, it's super easy if you just follow these 2 easy steps. Basically, get a few garlands and a bow, and you're really ready to make an impact on your front door. But now I'm going to share with you perhaps one of my favorite Christmas trees that we've ever done here on the channel. In this compilation, it is absolutely beautiful, traditional, elegant. Let's take a look. All right, you guys, so we are gonna get started with this beautiful traditional Christmas tree in burgundy red and champagne gold. This is going to be stunning. I cannot wait for you. Well, if it comes out the way that I'm thinking it's going to come out. So I also love this ribbon because it's a 4-inch ribbon and it looks like a belt, like a tool belt. A glam tool belt, if I may say so myself. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab this half and fold it like this, fin it out, and I'm gonna start right here on the top by grabbing one of these bristles and just twisting around that. Remember that here on the channel we have a 4-step process, which is ribbons first, which is what I'm doing right now, ornaments second, stems, florals, picks third, and then at the end we always like to add a beautiful accent ribbon just to tie it all together. So in this case, I'm going to do 3 loops like this because it's going to do a very traditional look. So I cannot wait for you guys to see. And since this ribbon has so many holes in it, what I'm going to do is I'm gonna cut at a diagonal. So now I'm gonna repeat myself. I'm gonna grab this top, make a loop and fin it out like this. And then I'm going to go over to this side. Remember, what happens on the right happens on the left. So grab that bristle and twist around. Now I'm going to do my loops. I'm gonna start right here by doing 1. And if it's too loopy, then go ahead and readjust. Don't feel afraid to readjust, because when we readjust, we get it right. So that's 2. And I'm going to do a 3rd one right here. And then I'm gonna cut at a diagonal. 1 more time, put my scissors on my pocket because I'm always losing them. Grab it right here, fin it out. And I am going to start right here. Remember to step ladder motion. So I'll put my loop right here. And then I'm going to do 1. I love working with this type of Christmas tree. It's all bristles because it makes it so much easier to attach. I just think it's a little bit more of an inexpensive look. As you guys can see, it's all bristles. It doesn't have much of an armature to put like really heavy ornaments on, but we're not going to do that this time. We're going to put all glass ornaments that are going to be really tied into the Christmas tree. And so I thought that this particular Christmas tree would be perfect for that. All right, so now I'm going to cut at a diagonal right here. And so now remember, what happens on the right happens on the left. So I'm gonna go 1 more time, do that loop. It's very important because if you don't, this is what's gonna end up being on the top. Well, we don't want that unsightly end. So now what I'm going to do, I'm gonna step ladder motion 1 more time down. See how it went boom, boom, boom? Well, now we're gonna go over here and we're gonna do it 1 more time. So I'm gonna do 1 loop, attach. These can be really big loops because the ribbon is really wide. And so I just think it's perfect for this type of ribboning. So I'm gonna cut right here 1 more time. And I have just enough ribbon to do a 4th one. So I'm going to grab my loop, pull it out, fin it out like this. So it looks pretty. And so now I'm gonna go right here to the center. I'm gonna go a little further in. I'm gonna grab this bristle, attach it, and then I'm gonna do a big loop right here. And that's all I have room for. So I'm gonna cut my ribbon right here. Just let me see how much I have left. Not enough for anything else. But you guys, this ribbon, it's so beautiful. It has this, let me see if it has, oh, I cannot even describe how stunning this ribbon is. Look at that. So pretty. Jameson, does that catch on the light?
Oh, yes.
Okay, first of all, give it up for Jameson. Yay, come on in. Come say hi to the peeps. How are you doing? How are you doing today?
Doing well, doing well.
How do you find this experience of working as a Christmas now?
Oh gosh, it's a lot of work, but it's very exciting. It's fun. There's so much creativity. It's nonstop.
Now, out of all the looks that we've done this year, The ones that you guys have seen already and the ones that you are yet to see, which one is your favorite?
I would say probably the green tree.
The green tree was so cute and we had so much fun.
Yes.
I love that. All right, well, everyone give it up for Jameson. Thank you for being here and for helping behind the camera. You guys, Jameson has been such a helpful little elf or Grinch. We'll call him the Grinch. All right, so for this one, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a 2-loop bow. I'm gonna give it a tail. It hurt my heart by cutting this ribbon. It's so gorgeous. So I'm gonna do a 2-loop bow, and it's made out of this silk material. Oh my God, it has all this embroidery with sequins. It's so pretty. I cannot even tell you how in love I am with this ribbon. You know, I sometimes want to buy a ribbon just to put it away because I like looking at it. But I have so much ribbon that I just don't have room for it. All right, so I'm gonna start right here on the top. I'm gonna grab one of these bristles and go all the way down. We're going to fluff this gorgeous bow. And then I'm going to go all the way down, make a loop right here, like this. And then we're going to make another loop right here, like this. And then we're going to, actually here, you know what I'm going to do? Oh yeah, I'm gonna make another one. I wanna go all the way down with this ribbon, like this. We're gonna go down with this ribbon, like so. I just remember, you guys remember, anyone that has been watching for a long time, I used to say like so all the time, and I was red for Phil for like a few years, so I stopped saying it. And as I'm working right now, I just remember that I was like, oh my gosh, I remember when I used to say that all the time, and people were just like, you need to stop saying like so much. And I finally quit. So I'm proud of myself. All right, so I have to cut this gorgeous ribbon at an angle because it's so pretty. And so now what I'm going to do is do another bow with that little tail on the top. We're going to fold, wait till you see the florals we're using on this. Oh my gosh, we ran out of ribbon. I'm gonna have to go get more ribbon. I'll be right back with you. Keep watching. Okay, so I'm back after I had to walk all the way across the warehouse to get another one of these ribbons because I want to finish this look for you guys. So I'm going to pinch one more time and I'm going to do another 2-loop bow. And for this particular one, watch what I'm going to do. So I'm gonna do this 2-loop bow and I'm gonna attach with my wire. It's so pretty. It's almost too good to be true. And so what I'm going to do is I'm gonna start right here. I'm going to pinch all the way, making sure that this bow shows. And then I'm going to go through here and make my way back down between these two, like this. You guys, ribboning is so much fun. Don't be afraid to cut these beautiful ribbons. That's what they're for. I think you get a better job done if you cut your ribbons than if you're trying to save the ribbon, because at the end of the day, you already paid for it. So might as well get the best out of it. And the best, let me tell you, is cutting it. Even though it does hurt my heart a little bit to cut such a beautiful ribbon, but it will not look the same unless we cut the ribbon. So I really want to encourage you to just give it a cut and get the most bang out of the buck that you spent on your beautiful ribbon. Thank you, and come here. Jameson loves reading your comments, by the way.
I do, yes.
I love the fact that otherwise you popped in and you were like checking the ribbon and people just get a kick out of it.
Right.
All right, Grinch, get out of here. Thank you. Okay, so our next step is going to be our ornaments, and for that I chose this beautiful burgundy sugared ornament. It's a 4-inch, and so remember to go on a step ladder motion and zigzagging through your Christmas tree, thinking this: what happens on the right happens on the left, what goes up must come down, what happens on the right happens on the left, what goes up must come down. And that's what's going to keep your tree balanced. And then go all the way around to the side. I'm going to use about 8 ornaments of each. I have 3 types of ornaments. I have these beautiful sugared ones. They are so pretty. Then I have, well, you know, that's the other thing that I always tell you, to finish one ornament at a time, because You can balance your Christmas tree better that way. And then also this is the front, so make sure that you do the sides, and what happens on the right happens on the left, and what goes up must come down. You always have a balanced Christmas tree, wreath, floral arrangement, whatever it is that you are making, if you continue to repeat that to yourself. All right, so the next one's gonna be this beautiful champagne, and I'm gonna start right here on the top. Sorry, I'm gonna go on my tippies like that, and we're gonna step ladder. We're gonna begin that step ladder motion, putting them in holes or voids in your Christmas tree. That's what ornaments are for, to fill in those voids and those holes in the tree, and then also as your focal points, right? And I always explain this to you. You start with one ornament at a time, but what you want to do is cluster them together. And the way you do that is doing one first, and then you find the place where that ornament is and just add another one, and see how that creates a cluster. So that's 4. Let me see, I'm gonna put one right here. 5. Like I said, I'm only going to use about 8 of each. 6. Let's see. What I want is the ribbon to really sparkle. So we're going to try not to crowd this with too many ornaments, so that way that ribbon can really stick out. When you spend a lot of time and money on your ribbon, your Christmas tree, this one has 2, Jameson. Let me take one out. I think we both wired the same ornament twice. That's funny. All right, so I'm gonna put that right here and go back. All right, you guys, so now the point where it's my favorite, floral stems and picks, or pick stems and florals, how I always say it. So for that, I chose this beautiful burgundy hydrangea, and this is going to be more of a filler. I'm gonna start right here, and remember to step ladder motion. This is gonna help us fill in some of those big voids and also make it a little bit more romantic. So that's what I'm going for, a more elegant and romantic Christmas tree. With that, oh, this came undone, so I'm gonna push it back in. So I'm going to put another one right here on the side, and let's see. I'm trying to still have this ribbon be the main focal point because it's so beautiful, but I still want some of these florals to come in. And the best way you can do that is find a joint right here and push it in, and that also helps us cover that mechanic. So the next one's going to be these beautiful roses, and I think these are just so pretty. As you guys can see, they look real actually. So I'm gonna start right here in the same spot where I put a flower, a hydrangea. I'm gonna add a rose every single place where and I want them to stick out a little bit, so there's some depth in there. So actually you can put it through the hydrangea and just let it stick out a little bit. That's what I decide I'm going to do. And that's depth on your floral, like that. I'm gonna go over to this side. I'm gonna put one right here on the hydrangea. Then I'm gonna add one right here on this hydrangea. And then I'm going to add one right here on the top, because remember, what goes up must come down, so we have to have some on the top. And I'm gonna add one more on the very top, all the way. And I'm gonna try and drive it all the way through, like that. It's okay if it sticks out a little bit more. Now my favorite, this guy right here, it's this beautiful magnolia. Actually, it's a poinsettia. It's made out of velvet. It's so pretty. So I'm going to do the exact same thing, where every place that I place the flower, I'm going to add not 1, but 2. I want this to really show off. So I'm gonna add, see how there's cluster right here? I'm gonna add this one right here on the joint. Look how pretty that created, a beautiful cluster of florals. How many did I add, 2 or 3? I think I added 2, right? 1, 2, you know what? I'm gonna add a 3rd one because I'm feeling generous. I think it'll be pretty if we just close this gap. Look at that, all of these flowers right here. Oh, I cannot wait to see the close-up. Let's do them one more time, but right here on the very front, so you guys can really see. Okay, so I'm gonna open this poinsettia that's made out of gorgeous velvet. I'm gonna add it right here with the other flowers. Remember, we're creating clusters. I want it to be very feminine, very Christmassy, and very elegant. This is, think of, it's my dream to go to the Biltmore. And every Christmas they do fantastic displays. And it's my dream not only to go there, but to help with the Christmas. Look how pretty this cluster right here it is. Oh my gosh, you guys. So that's 2. We're going to add a 3rd one, but remember, they come flat on the box, so be sure to every single petal, open it up, so that way you can get the maximum. Look how pretty that is. Isn't that gorgeous? Stunning. All right, so I'm gonna finish the rest of the clusters I have to do, and I'll be right back with you, so keep watching. All right, so our last step, I should have said our last step. I don't even know. Our next step is going to be these picks, and look how pretty these are, you guys. It has white, it's like a flat cedar. No, actually it's like a maiden fern, and it's all flocked. It's so pretty, and it dangles so gorgeous. So what I'm going to do is I'm gonna start adding some of these right here on the joints of my bow work, like right here. I'm gonna start right about here. I need both of my hands to go in because it's pretty tight. But there you go. And what you want to do is let them hang and dangle like that. So you want to do that every single time that you see a bow joint right here or a ribbon joint. You kind of want to disguise it with that. So I have about 12 of them. And once again, they're so pretty. Look how dangly this is. So I'm going to put one right here and push it all the way in. I'm also going to put another one right here, push it all the way in. And that's what's going to give that three-dimensional look to your Christmas tree. It's gonna give it so much texture that you are not even going to believe it when you're done with it. Like that. I'm gonna go over to this side and I'm gonna put one right here coming out of our hydrangea. Like that. Look how stunning. All right, so let me see. I have a few more. I'm trying to hurry up because I know you guys at this point have seen so many Christmas trees that you're probably wondering, what is Ramon doing this year? Well, you guys, I just want to let you know that they offered me to come and help here at Shinoda Design Center, and I could not say no. We used to do it a few years back, and I just want to share as many ideas for the holiday season, so that's what I'm doing. And just so you know, no, I'm not getting paid. No, I don't work here. I just do this to inspire you guys to create a beautiful Christmas this year, and so they offered that opportunity, and I could not pass on it, just to create as many looks as possible. All right, so let's see. Because I was asked one time if I worked here and they wanted prices, and I'm like, no, I don't work here, so I don't know the prices. If you want to know any of the prices of the items, be sure to call them. I'm going to put their phone number down below so that you know who to call. All right, so the next item I'm going to add is going to be this beautiful pick. Look how stunning. It's a champagne, gorgeous. It's almost like a boxwood, stunning. So now what I'm going to do is every other time where I have a cluster of flowers, I'm gonna do a gorgeous pick.
What color is it again?
This is a champagne.
Oh, I know that word.
Jameson is a sommelier, so he loves champagne and wine. He knows all about that. Actually, me and Jameson have this idea of making, like, you know, I would make the tablescape for Christmas, and Jameson will tell you what wine pairs what with what for the holiday season. So if you want to see Jameson tell us everything that he knows about pairings for wine, be sure to drop a comment down below and say wine, or say Jameson, yes, please teach us everything you know about the wine industry for the holiday season. All right, so now I'm going to add yet another one right over on this side. I feel like I need one right on these joints. Like I said, these are best placed where the joints are, so they cover some of that ribbon work and you don't see that twist. By the way, if you are new to my channel, I just want to say thank you for stopping by. I really hope that you would consider subscribing, and you guys don't forget to share these videos with your friends on Facebook, on Instagram, on WhatsApp, because that helps the channel and it's totally free. And that way you invite your friends to come and be inspired. All right, so I'm going to add this one right in here. How is that looking, Jameson?
I love it.
Do you love it? All right, so, okay, so we're almost done with this beautiful traditional Christmas tree. And you guys, I have to admit, this is perhaps one of my favorite Christmas trees that I've ever done. But I'm gonna show you a trick to just really kick it out of this yard and make it the most dramatic Christmas tree you've probably ever seen in your life, and that's going to be with these long picks. How gorgeous is this? It's all gilded and it has some white flowers. It's just so beautiful. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put one on the bottom of each cluster, like I said. So every time that we create a cluster, we're going to stick one of these branches, and what we want is to let it stick out like that. Don't push it too far in. We're going to make it very dramatic. I'm going to add one right here, and remember to do one at the bottom of every cluster that we added, just let them stick out. Don't try to push them too far in because we want that drama for your mama. Look how pretty that is. That is going to be one spectacular Christmas tree in your house if you decide to go with this theme. I'm going to add one right here with this cluster that is on this side. Remember, what happens on the right happens on the left. What goes up must come down, and the more is more. I remember when I worked at a furniture store and I did a Christmas show, and one of the designers told me that I had to learn that less was more, and my response was no. More is more and less is a bore. And I've been living by that since then. All right, so I'm gonna step away a little bit from it. I'm going to add one of these right here in the center to kind of balance my Christmas tree. I have a few more. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add one coming out of this cluster, but coming sideways like so. And be sure to angle them up if you have to, because that's really going to extend the shape of your Christmas tree. Now for the very top, this is a little long for what I want, but let me see. You know what? No, actually, if I push it up, I'm gonna have to cut the stem a little because I don't want it to not stick out of the Christmas tree. So I'm going to come over this way. I'm gonna push it right here. Try to push it as much as I can. Look how that just extended the Christmas tree. You probably don't even see it, but you will when you see the close-up. All right, so I'm gonna add this other one right here in the middle. I'm gonna give it a little bit of curvature and add it kind of facing down. What I'm going to do is give this Christmas tree a flap, and I'll share with you the end result. Keep watching. And here is the end result, you guys. This tree turned out so beautiful. Perhaps my favorite thing, well, two. Number one, these clusters of flowers with poinsettias, the rose and the hydrangea, and then also this beautiful blossom stem that just extends the shape of your tree, and it's beautiful. But check out this ribbon. I told you it was spectacular and I wasn't lying. Look how it catches the light. So pretty. And then the ornament with the crown, it was a last minute addition, and the beautiful glitter ribbon right here that looks like a mesh, the maiden fern with the frost in it that just dangles so beautifully. What else can I show you? The beautiful blossoms right here in the white. It is just spectacular. I really love it. I really hope that this year you'll dare to do something out of the norm and spectacular for the holiday season. I cannot wait to read your comments, so be sure to leave me a comment down below. So what do you think? Isn't this Christmas tree so traditional, elegant, and glam? You guys, if you really want to extend the shape of your tree, be sure to add some stems that really elongate the look and the feel of your Christmas tree. But now I want to take a second to invite you to come and join me on Facebook on my private group, you guys. I have this private group. It is called Ramon at Home Masterclass, where we're doing so many more DIYs for Christmas this season. You guys will not want to miss out on this opportunity to join this private group. The instructions on how to join the group are going to be linked to the top on a post on my Facebook page. All right, you guys, so we're gonna move on and we're going to create a gorgeous Christmas centerpiece DIY with traditional colors. Let's take a look. All right, everyone, so I'm gonna start by sharing that I found these containers at my local dollar store, as well as the foam. You know, I'm always telling you to start with inexpensive materials when it's the base, so that way you can spend that money on the beautiful items. And then also this garland right here was actually a wreath that I took apart. I do that a lot for other projects. So what I'm going to do is I'm gonna put this garland right here, and I'm gonna go very tightly, very tightly. I just wanna cover my mechanics. Then what I'm going to do is I'm gonna grab right here, and I'm gonna cut this garland right about here. And then what you want to do is you wanna grab a bristle from this side, and a bristle from this side, and you're going to really tightly attach those together by giving it a spin. And so that way you're left with almost like a wreath around your foam, and that's going to cover those mechanics. Now the other thing I want to do is I'm gonna bring one of my wires like this, and I'm gonna cut, this is an 18 gauge wire, I'm gonna cut it in half, and then I'm gonna cut it in half again to create some hooks. What you need to do is almost like a bobby pin. This is called a floral pin, but you can find them at your local craft stores where you can buy floral supplies. I just ran out of them, so you can also create yours. And what you do is you fold them in half, you grab a few bristles and just insert that into the foam, and that's going to secure this garland. It ain't going to go nowhere because it has all of those pins around. And I just like to do a 4-point attachment. That means that I attach in 4 different spots, and like I said, that's going to hold your garland. Oh, I had 2 trays, look at me. Hey, here's another one for our next project. I'm going to drop it over here. All right, so I just want to show you that this is what's going to help you create that base. All right, so now what you want to do is fluff this garland, make it look pretty and fluffy like this. I'm gonna grab my greeneries and I'll be right back. All right, so I'm back, and I found this beautiful greenery pick, you guys, at Walmart out of all places. It was super affordable. I think it was under $5. And look at all the greens that this has. So what you want to do is grab some of this greenery, and we're going to respect that that spot where our hurricane is going to go. So I'm going to start right here, and remember, what happens on the right happens on the left. And also remember that this is quite a lot of greenery. So what you want to do is cut into pieces, so that way you have a lot of texture. And once you put on the left, just immediately go ahead and spin around to go into the other side, because that was going to create that balance. And look how this one has a lot of greenery. So what I'm going to do is cut into 2 to have even more greenery. So what happens on the right happens on the left. Then what I like to do is I like to go into the corners, and because I insert the corner right here on my left, I'm going to immediately spin around, and I'm gonna cut that corner, and I'm gonna put another one right here on my right. And then I'm going to do the opposite. So I'm gonna grab this, cut it into 2, because that's a lot of product, and that's really going to take it. This is just to give us the texture that we need, you guys. And look, it comes with these beautiful pine cones. I'm telling you, this greenery is so pretty. And look, all you need is 1 stem of this particular greenery. And what I'm going to do is I'm gonna go up here, and then immediately I'm going to go to my other side right here, inserting. Look, just 1 pick did give us all of that texture. Now I do have this other one. This came from Hobby Lobby. This also can be cut into 2 because it's quite a lot of product, and this is a beautiful cedar that is so fluffy and so, it's just so pretty. And so what I'm going to do is I'm gonna insert this guy right here, and then immediately I'm going to go to the other side, spin around. That's why I'm always telling you that a lazy Susan really does come in handy when you're doing floral arrangements and centerpieces and such. And so now I'm gonna do the corners. I'm gonna do 1 corner right here. Then immediately I'm going to go over to the other corner. And as you guys can see, that's giving us the balance that we need. So far it's looking very textural. And so now I have this other pick. I love this one. This is a pine. What I like about it is because it's molded out of real pine. And so what I'm going to do is I'm gonna go 1 up, 1 down. Look how pretty. Then I'm gonna spin around, and this one has a lot of paper I'm gonna take out. So I'm gonna do the exact same thing, 1 up, and see how this one is 2 of them. All you have to do is pull on it, and those stems come right out. This was a David Christopher's wreath that I took apart, you guys, because I wanted to use it as picks. Sometimes you get more bang for your buck by doing that, by taking all those wreaths apart. They come with all these beautiful laterals, because it really allows you to create beautiful items without having to, well, have just a wreath. All right, so far I love the way this is looking. It's long and low. I'm going to insert this other one right here. I'm gonna bring my poinsettias, and I'll be right back. Keep watching. All right, you guys, so at this point, what I'm going to do is I'm gonna bring my candle in, and I'm gonna put my hurricane on top of it, just to make sure that I'm respecting some of those laterals, like this one right here. I already see that I have to take it out, because we have to make sure that that hurricane fits right in. And so what you need to do is just readjust. So also I'm gonna bring out my remote just to make sure that my candle works. Oh, it sure does work. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm gonna grab some of these beautiful poinsettias. I always like to put a rubber band on them to attach them all together. And look how pretty these are, you guys. These come with a beautiful greenery as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm gonna cut it in half. I'm going to add the greenery by itself. Look how pretty that is. That adds a lot of texture. And then I'm going to add the poinsettia up here on the top. So I'm gonna grab another one. Some of these ones are bigger ones than the other ones, but I just absolutely love them. This one also I'm going to cut into half, because remember, what happens on the right happens on the left. So immediately I have to go over to this side and add that. And I'm going to put this one right here. Now I want to explain something real quick. On this one right here, I put the poinsettia on the top and then the greenery towards the bottom. And on this one, I put the greenery towards the top and the poinsettia towards the bottom. And as you guys can see, that creates balance. It's still not the same spot or the same placement, but it's the same spot, and that really makes it look balanced. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm gonna cut this guy right here, and I'm gonna put this greenery over towards the bottom right here. And then I'm gonna bring this poinsettia, I'm gonna spin around, and I'm gonna put it right here, right by the candle. A little down and out, like that. And that's creating our poinsettia triangle. And what I'm going to do is I'm gonna cut this guy right here, and I'm gonna put another poinsettia right here. And then this greenery, never pitch the greenery, always use it on your arrangements, because the more greeneries, the more natural it looks, and so that allows us to have a more natural looking arrangement. How pretty is this? Now I want to do this long and low, so I've saved some of these beautiful longer poinsettias. I have two of them that are longer than the other ones. I think it's these two right here. And so what you want to do is you want to grab those poinsettias and get them a little fluff, because they were in storage. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go right here under it, and I'm going to create that long form. I'm going to spin around, and I'm going to go over to this side. I'm going to insert my poinsettia right here, and see how that gave us that longer form. So now this is a long and low centerpiece that looks absolutely beautiful. All right, so now I'm done with my poinsettias. I'm going to get a few ornaments, and I'll be right back with you. All right, so I'm loving the way this is looking, but we're gonna make it even more festive by adding some beautiful ornaments. And for that, I'm gonna bring out some of this 20 gauge wire. And what I'm going to do is I'm gonna cut these guys in half, or right around half. And then what you need to do is use those as clips, and I'll show you. So what you're going to do is you're going to grab the end of it, and you're gonna fold it in half, about a third. And then you're gonna go through the ornament, and you're gonna close this guy right here. And so now we're going to use this as a pick to insert our ornament. So the first one, I want it right here by the candle. And all we have to do is make sure that the pick goes all the way in, and look at that. How pretty. And so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to alternate. I put a glitter one. And so now what I'm going to do, I'm going to do a shiny one. And I want it to be right on top of that one. So in order to do that, I'm going to go up like this. And look, they just rest on top of each other. So I'm going to put one right here. Remember, what happens on the right happens on the left. So immediately I'm going to grab one of these ones that is shiny. I'm gonna put the hook through, and then I'm gonna go right here. And remember that we work on sets of 3s, 2s, and 1s. And so for that, I'm gonna let that one rest there. So here's a set of 2, here's 1, and I'm gonna grab yet another one, and I'm gonna put it right here on the bottom. So I'm gonna grab this guy right here and fold. Let me tell you, my ex-boss used to say that there was not a problem in the world that could not be saved with a 20 gauge wire, and I almost lost it. That happens a lot because we push. So what we need to do is just make sure that we either glue it or be more careful when we push, because look, that ornament is going to stay right there like that. And so now I'm going to spin around, and I'm going to go opposite side right here, and I'm going to grab yet another one. I'm going to be more careful with this one. I'm gonna fold it in half. I'm gonna go through the ornament, and then I'm going to push. Very careful, making sure that I don't. There you go. Look how pretty this is, you guys. Isn't this gorgeous? All right, so now what I have is some of this beautiful berry. So I'm gonna put some of these berries. I'm gonna take them all out of my container. Now I wanna explain these containers, you guys. You can find them at your local craft stores. And look, they're so handy for when you're doing this kind of work. I really do recommend them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some of these berry just as an accent. So maybe one right here. Look at that. That just adds a little touch of extra texture. And I just absolutely love it. So I'm gonna add yet another one right here. And then remember, what happens on the right happens on the left, and what goes up must come down. So give them a little bit of a space. Then I'm gonna add yet another one over on this side. This needs to be tucked in because we don't want it to be further out than the poinsettias. So what I'm going to do is just grab one on the top, one on the bottom, like that. Now I need to add a few. You know what, I'm gonna add this longer one over on this side with the long poinsettia. Just to support, just to make it help that particular one. Then I'm gonna add yet another one right here. I'm going to add a few on the top because I want it to be all the way around. So remember, what happens on the right happens on the left. Immediately go in there. This is so pretty. And you don't need very many elements. All you needed was a few poinsettias. I'm gonna fluff this one right here. A few ornaments, a few berries, and you got yourself a beautiful centerpiece for Christmas. I'm going to fluff this and give you a close-up. Keep watching. All right, you guys, so this is the end result for this beautiful long and low centerpiece for Christmas. This would be so pretty on your table. Imagine this with a beautiful setting for Christmas dinner. I think it would be so gorgeous. As you guys can see, it's nothing but a few ornaments, poinsettias, and some greenery, and you too can have a beautiful centerpiece for your holiday dinner this year. I cannot wait to read your comments, so be sure to leave me a comment down below. I had so much fun creating these beautiful traditional Christmas DIYs for 2025, and I cannot wait to read your comments. So please leave me a comment down below and let me know which out of these 3 DIYs was your favorite: the wreath, the Christmas tree, or the traditional Christmas centerpiece. You know, reading your comments is my favorite thing to do on Sundays. And remember, we have a date every Sunday at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time for brand new Christmas 2025 DIYs. If you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing. And if you subscribe, don't forget to turn the notification bell on, because trust me when I tell you, you will not want to miss the Christmas season 2025. If you enjoyed this video, I'm going to put a playlist right here with even more Christmas DIYs to inspire you to create something beautiful this Christmas season. Thank you guys so much for watching. Consider subscribing, and as always, you can watch more videos right now. Until next time, bye.